Hey folks, so Joe Kent resigned as National Counterterrorism Center Director yesterday. He resigned in protest of the Iran war that we currently find ourselves in. Said his opinion was that there was no justification, that Iran was not an imminent threat to the United States, couldn't any longer go along with it. He cited the reason that, according to him, why we attacked Iran was in large part from the Israeli Political Action Committee lobby to our U.S. politicians. Now, is he right? Is he wrong? I don't know, but it's an opinion, you know. And what very quickly happened after he did that was President Trump trashed him, eviscerated him, called him weak, say good riddance, glad you're gone, move on, which is, by the way, a pattern. It's a pattern that our president does with anyone who's not 100% on board with everything he's doing. Any criticism is met with an evisceration. He'll run somebody against you in Congress the next time, will try to primary you out. You're weak, you're trash, you're this, you're that. Anybody that disagrees with him. When journalists get off the Trump bandwagon, they're trash. So Joe Kent resigned yesterday, stated his reasons why. Iran's not an imminent threat, and the Israeli lobby is too powerful in influencing U.S. politicians, including the big dog, And this is something that, I've kept very quiet about the Iran war, the attack and everything for a couple of weeks now, just to kind of sit back in the wings and see how it plays out, see what comes of it. But, I agree. I agree with Joe Kent, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Am I right? I don't know. But I don't believe that Iran was an imminent threat to the U.S., and I don't believe there was justification to attack them. We're in there now, so now it's, do or die. Finish the job. Go take care of your business. But did we need to do it? My thoughts are no, and we probably shouldn't have done it. Iran's been Iran for 47 years. Are they good people in Iran? Not all of them. The leadership, do they cause trouble? Yes. Are they bad people? Yes. But they're not an imminent threat to us. And if you are of the opinion, if my fellow Republicans, my fellow Americans, if you're of the opinion that everything that you hear from your government is gospel truth, let me refer you back to Iraq in 2003. What was the reason that we were given to go into Iraq in 2003, to invade and take over the entire country? What was it? Remember? Weapons of mass destruction. We have to go in there because Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. And you might say, Bill, what weapons of mass destruction? Exactly. There were no weapons of mass destruction found in there. People tried to play this, we found chemical, whatever, there were no weapons of mass destruction found in Iraq. And that cost the lives of thousands of American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines. There were thousands more casualties, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of Iraqi casualties, billions and billions, trillions of dollars of cost in going through there for a mistruth. All right, that's the kind of polite way to put it. There were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq in 2003, and I believe that Iran in 2026 is not an imminent threat. Wasn't an imminent threat. Now they're an imminent threat because we went in there and kicking the shit out of them. They're an imminent threat now. They're pissed off. Let me tell you real quick about Joe Kent. If you don't know who this man is, he was a Green Beret. He had 11 combat deployments, worked for the CIA after that. His family knows sacrifice for this country, all right? His wife was killed. She was a member of the U.S. military. She died in Syria from an attack. So she was KIA in Syria a number of years ago. So the man knows loss. He knows sacrifice for his country. And having been a Green Beret and a CIA operator, he's got some insight. He's not as much, he's not like me, just, some idiot throwing your opinion out, right? He's got a little bit of insight. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's right, but it means that he has an opinion. And as Americans, we have a right to share our opinion. And if you have any decency about you, if someone is presenting a respectful opinion, you should be respectfully considering that instead of trashing them, instead of eviscerating them, instead of doing that. And I see a lot of my fellow Republicans today throwing out there, where's the proof, Joe? Where's the proof? And what you should be doing, instead of asking Joe Kent where the proof is, you should be asking your government, where's the proof? Where is the proof? Where's the proof that the U.S. is not being heavily influenced by Israel? Because I think there's more proof that they are our politicians are being more heavily influenced by Israel financially, to kind of go along with this, including the big guy, And I think you should be asking them, where's the proof that Iran is an imminent threat? And I would dare say that you'll probably be hard pressed to find proof that Iran was an imminent threat to the United States. All right. So instead of asking somebody who has an opinion that's off the beaten path, that's out of one of these two camps, the Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, whatever, I think if somebody has their own opinion about stuff, instead of asking them, where's your proof? Ask your government, ask your political parties, ask them where their proof is, and I would dare say that you'll be hard pressed to find it. So, guys, tell me what you think about this. Am I crazy? Do I make any sense at all to you? Am I a bad Republican? Am I a bad American? Am I a lunatic? What do you think? Let me know. Guys, take care. God bless you. God help us all.